out CNN's Kaitlan Collins on the network's bias. Let's watch.
You made press because you were on Stephen Colbert's show, and he said,
Bill Maher recently took CNN's Kaitlan Collins to task over the network's glaring bias, and it's a moment worth dissecting. It all started when Maher appeared on Stephen Colbert's show, where Colbert, with a straight face, suggested that CNN just reports the news as it is. The audience erupted in laughter, a spontaneous, telling reaction. Even a crowd that skews left, opting into a late-night show hosted by a reliably liberal figure, couldn't stomach the idea that CNN is some bastion of objectivity. Maher seized on this, later confronting Collins directly about CNN's claim to be a place where both sides can watch. He wasn't subtle about it either, pointing out the network's hypocrisy with a mix of sarcasm and blunt truth that left little room for wiggle. Maher's critique wasn't just about one bad interview, it was a takedown of CNN's entire ethos. He argued that in a divided country, where political lines are drawn with venom, CNN should be a neutral ground. Instead, it's a network that occasionally tosses a token conservative into the mix, only to drown them out with relentless counterpoints. Take Collins herself as an example. She's built a reputation for fishing for gotcha moments, especially when it comes to Donald Trump and his team. In one exchange, she pressed Trump on whether he wanted Ukraine or Russia to win their war, a classic no-win question. If he'd said Ukraine, she'd have painted him as a warmonger risking World War III. If he'd picked Russia, the traitor label would have been slapped on faster than you can say breaking news. Trump, seasoned as he is, sidestepped it, focusing instead on ending the bloodshed, a pragmatic answer that left Collins grasping for a follow-up. The crowd might not have laughed, but you can bet Maher did inwardly. Collins didn't stop there, though. She's gone after Trump repeatedly, trying to corner him with convoluted questions designed to trip him up. In another instance, she hammered him about classified documents, layering commentary into what should have been a straightforward query. Trump, visibly exasperated, cut her off, calling her nasty, a jab that landed because it highlighted her approach, less about seeking answers, more about crafting a narrative. She wasn't asking to inform. She was fishing for a soundbite CNN could loop for days. Trump flipped the script, as he often does, turning her ambush into a moment that exposed her bias. It's not the first time she's tried this, and it won't be the last, but each attempt chips away at whatever credibility she's clinging to. Then there's her clash with Donald Trump Jr. after an assassination attempt on his father. Jr. blamed the media's relentless Hitler comparisons for fueling the attack. He's got a point. 9 years of calling Trump literally Hitler isn't just rhetoric. It's a drumbeat that can unhinge people. Collins pushed back, smugly noting that J.D. Vance once likened Trump to Hitler too. The difference? Vance was a lone voice, not a media machine with global reach. Plus, he's since disavowed that take after seeing Trump up close. Collins' deflection didn't erase the fact that CNN and its peers have spent years demonizing Trump, creating an environment where extreme actions feel justified to some. Jr. held his ground, and Collins came off looking like she was dodging the real issue. This pattern of selective outrage and narrative spinning is why Maher's fed up. He's a guy who voted for Biden, a lifelong liberal who's now calling out his own side's excesses. Take the Hunter Biden laptop saga. Maher's convinced the media buried it before the 2020 election to protect Biden's chances. He's not wrong. The story broke with damning evidence of corruption, influence peddling, and foreign deals, yet CNN and others brushed it off as a non-issue. Imagine if Don Jr. had a laptop like that, CNN would have turned it into a 24/7 circus. Maher torched Collins over this double standard, pointing out how CNN's silence on Democratic scandals contrasts with their obsession with Trump's every move. When Collins weakly protested that she doesn't just watch MSNBC, Maher didn't buy it because her network's output screams otherwise. The Hunter Biden story isn't just a one-off. It's a symptom of CNN's broader playbook. Maher laid it bare. They don't just report news, they manufacture it. They'll twist Trump's words into a scandal while ignoring hard evidence of Biden family grift. Hunter sold his dad's influence for cash. Voicemails even showed Joe agreeing to meet shady figures to bail his son out of jams. Maher half-joked that we're lucky Hunter didn't talk Joe into handing over nuclear codes for a quick payday. It's gallows humor, but it underscores the point. CNN's selective coverage isn't journalism, it's activism. They protect their chosen side and attack the other, all while claiming neutrality. When Collins finally sat down with Maher, the fireworks were inevitable. He didn't hold back, mocking CNN's pretense of balance. He pointed to his own show airing on their network, full of dirty jokes and unfiltered takes, as proof they're not as buttoned up as they pretend. But then he got serious, asking how CNN thinks they're doing at bridging America's divide. Collins leaned on her Alabama roots and conservative family to argue she's trusted across the aisle. Maher wasn't impressed, and neither should anyone else be. Her personal background doesn't make CNN impartial. Her family might watch out of loyalty, not agreement. The network's track record speaks louder, downplaying Democratic scandals, amplifying anti-Trump narratives, and trotting out the occasional Republican for a sham debate. Megyn Kelly piled on too, dismissing Collins' star status as a leftist mirage. She nailed the bias but also hit a deeper truth. Collins is boring. Her delivery's cold, her smirk perpetual, like she's plotting her guest's demise mid-sentence. Kelly's pro tip, smile, show some warmth, cut to the core. You can be tough without being a human ice cube, but Collins hasn't figured that out. She's not connecting, she's alienating. Ben Shapiro echoed this, recounting how even Colbert's left-leaning crowd laughed at the idea of CNN's objectivity. They know it's a sham, they just don't care as long as the bias tilts their way. Collins' latest target was Trump spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt, whom she grilled over press access to the Oval Office. Leavitt clapped back. It's a privilege, not a right, and the White House decides who gets in. Collins framed it as retaliation against an AP reporter for using Gulf of Mexico instead of Gulf of America, a petty jab that ignored the bigger picture. Trump's team isn't hiding a frail leader like Biden's did. They're setting boundaries. Former Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre chimed in, accusing Leavitt of North Korea-style tactics, rich coming from someone who restricted access while gaslighting America about Biden's decline. Leavitt fired back, reminding everyone Jean-Pierre peddled lies about Biden's fitness while dodging tough questions. The contrast was stark. Trump's team takes more press than Biden ever did, yet CNN spins it as tyranny. The media's Trump obsession keeps backfiring. MSNBC's Nicole Wallace dragged a 13-year-old with brain cancer into a January 6th attack on Trump, tasteless and desperate. CNN called his latest speech divisive, but their own viewers disagreed. 69% reacted positively in a poll. The people aren't swallowing the narrative anymore. They're tired of the media's hatred overriding any pretense of fairness. Trump's unifying through policy, not platitudes, and the legacy media can't stand it. Maher's final word to CNN and Collins? Stop digging. The far left's doubling down on failed tactics, smearing Trump voters, pushing woke traps, got them here. Even their half-hearted concession that Trump voters aren't stupid drips with condescension. Maher's right, the hole's deep enough. CNN's not about truth, it's about control. They'll keep digging, though, grabbing a bigger shovel as their credibility sinks. Trump's stronger for it, and the people see through the charade. Maher, Kelly, Shapiro, they're just saying what everyone's thinking. The media's the problem, not the solution. America is done listening.